Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the return of Blaster Pro.
Yes, we are sorry we were gone.
We didn't even do lighting.
Yeah, I know. We didn't even mess with lighting at all, did we?
Don't look at me. I'm done.
Anyway, sorry, Daryl. Yeah, we slipped away for a whole month. And our computer's a little glitchy tonight because it hasn't done the podcast either. So it's not running. Matt is in... we don't know where Matt's at.
I think it was Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
He's in PA?
Possibly. If you ever want a good representation or a good idea of what's going on in Philly, look up the Kingston Street YouTube channel.
I think you should stop obsessing over that crap.
Okay, I can't.
Hey, South Street was fun.
Oh, dude, it's bad. You should watch it. It's just the dude just drives down every day like he's got. Oh, it's awful. Anyway. Matter of fact, he stopped one day and ran into the park and saved a dope fiend that stopped breathing. Anyway, we're back from the con. Successful con. We raised a pretty decent amount of money, over $4,000 for our charity.
No one died.
No one died, although a few attempted murders, but
Creepy guy with puppet.
A creepy guy with a puppet, just as bad as a creepy guy with a camera. Besides that, we built this guy behind us who
He worked but didn't.
He worked in the shop. He worked 85% of the time.
Yeah.
When we finally got him assembled, he developed a few glitches, and then when he got a ride to the convention center, those glitches mutated into gremlins, and then on and on and on till the point where I saw the fallout of your attempt to repair it when I pulled it. I was like, what happened to all this wiring? It was all nice and done. It's like, it's like Millennium Falcon wiring now.
Well, it was Jolinda and I sitting there trying to fix the damn thing. And we had it working kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And then it failed because we soldered the wires inside the blaster to the freaking bolt.
Oh, and then it was a massive ground.
Yeah, we couldn't.
Okay,
get
now
to the wires.
The first thing that failed on it when it went to the con was the gun broke. It fell and snapped wires, right?
Your gun, the duelist.
Yeah, the duelist gun. Okay, so if anybody, we should explain what this actually was. I took inspiration from a 1970s / early 80s.
This is something we both have fond memories
Yes. I had the fond memories at Disneyland. In Disneyland and Frontierland, they had a little arcade area, and they had a gunfighter that stood behind saloon doors. And when you put your money in, the doors would open, and he would say some, Yosemite Sam type stuff to you. And then you would draw against him in a gunfighting duel. And I mentioned this to him and mentioned that this would be great to build a Mandalorian gunfighter doing the same thing. And so we created the game. Matter of fact, you got a clip ready to go.
Let's go with, over the course of a month, we got this thing to work in prototype.
Yes, it was this is
a very fast,
very fast process, and it required things that we knew nothing about, like building a pneumatic system, building a...
Well, I had 2 classes.
That he hasn't used since college.
Yeah.
And also it included you building a control system that controlled the pneumatics. Also, the system... Actually, really, in a generic kind of way, it was a recreation of the buzzers.
Yeah,
with extra added features.
Yeah,
with 2 sets of sound, with 2 sets of sound and voice. He's talking to you. Blaster noises, his blaster, and a Han Solo pew pew DL-44 blast noise. And it worked really good when it was all a bundle of crap down here on the table, and the Mando was over here behind me, and then you were on the other side of the table with all the controls and this gun. This is one of my DL-44s, and we modified it to have a switch inside a trigger, and this was the gun that we would use.
See, you should have been there with me because while I was on the floor working on this thing,
Yeah.
girls in prom dresses kept coming up and asking what it was and trying to flirt while I'm working on stuff. And I'm terrible at that.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Switch your microphone side.
Because of noise?
Yeah, because you're always talking away.
All right. Sorry. The director is telling me to change my mic side. All right. There we go.
Perfect. That means you can cough away. And
There you go. How's that? Is that more gooder?
that sounds
Because I
perfect.
do turn my head away to cough and then, yeah.
And you cough directly into the microphone.
Thank you.
That's me, though. I'm always sick.
So anyway, Hayden, you got anything? Oh, yeah, you got a little video stuff put up.
What, you want to see that?
Yeah. Play a little. Hayden's going to play a little bit of video of the process. This right here is the actual cylinder that operates the arm.
Which we were way more mystified about than
Yeah,
we should
we
have
played
been.
with that a lot longer than we should have. Look at how happy I am. I think in the vise in front of me is one of the brackets I made to use it. Anyway, so we got it to work. Then we built a cabinet. We put it in the cabinet, and a lot of gremlins creeped in, and it never did work again. Actually, a lot of bugs creeped in, and then we transported it, and then the gremlins just took over. And it was, what do you call it, a cascading failure?
Yeah. So we started this.
So we have a new wiring harness, and we're going to build a whole brand new one, version 2.0.
This would be the beta, the last one being the prototype.
Yes, this one has got, this guy here, he's got a party coming up. He's got a heck of a party because this was so much quick, hard work, and a lot of other things that happened this year at the con. It was he
No one
performed.
died.
He performed just about yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about anything, but the
A
star.
sacrifice must be made.
Yeah. So we're having a small party coming up here in a couple weeks. So yeah, but he is in here now. This is the last time we will see him in this shape because due to the party, he is not going to survive the party. It is in his honor, but we're going to be stripping all of the high dollar mechanics and stuff we built into him out of him. We're getting rid of all that, and then he is going to meet his maker, his demise.
He will be in Valhalla.
Yeah, he's going to die a warrior's death.
Look, there's more footage of it.
Here you go. Yep. There's a little bit more of it.
We figured that if this didn't work, we could start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that design there did not work when the body got put on, so it got redone. And here it is. This is how it works. Start button. Listen to the Mando talk to you. There's the gun. And pow. I got him. I killed him.
Now, I kept losing, so
Well,
we knew it
see,
worked.
when the gun broke, now that everybody sees what it is, when the gun broke, I think we should just left it at that and let the Mando win every time.
You know I can't do that. I
No,
have to take the
wanted
damn
to do
thing
that.
apart.
That's what I told everybody. I even had that message. I told 5 other people because I only ran into you at the last minute, but I told like everybody, just tell you to do that and don't worry about it. And then I ran into you and told you to do that.
Yeah, but you know I don't listen.
I know you don't listen, but you should just let it go.
I don't
It the way that night went, you should just let it go and let people play it and lose.
That night was interesting.
I was not there for that, and I do kind of feel bad about it because of sounded like you guys really could have used my help.
That was going to kill somebody. It was great.
but anyway, so the original thought was let's just give the Mando himself away. Like just give the Mando away as he is, just the way he stands right there. Just take the pieces out of the back of him and say, here, somebody's got a Mandalorian mannequin. It's not complete. It's not finished. He's like this piece here. We never got paint on it. There was a lot of pieces we didn't get finished on him.
To be fair, when I was sticking my Grogu, my kit
Yeah.
up by him, and people were taking pictures with themselves and grabbing.
Yeah. So he's going away. We are pretty much starting from scratch. Matter of fact, that cylinder and stuff that we are removing, we're actually not going to remove. We're not going to keep because we learned a little bit more math. And after getting this guy built, we learned a few things about right now the stroke is actually where I want it, but we don't have the mechanical advantage to make it work properly. So
It was also getting caught behind the armor.
yeah, it was getting caught behind his belt and the stuff on there. But yeah, so what we're going to do is totally rebuild him. We actually know more about what specs we really need to make him work properly. I mean, he works now. I mean, it's going to hit you, Rodney.
I don't care at this point.
But here he is. So he works pretty good. But he's supposed to run at 40 PSI, and I have him running at 80 PSI. So we lost the mechanical advantage. When he was running earlier.
Do you have a picture of our tank?
Yeah, there is a picture. Actually, Hayden, pull that other picture back up. You can see the tank on the left side of him. The one that you got already. Oh, I see. Right there. Do that one. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the tank and air compressor setup that runs.
Solenoids duct tape to it.
And no, they're zip tied to it.
Same difference.
That's our air manifold. That actually, it's funny enough that air manifold will run 6 pistons, and we're only using it to run 1 piston. So we have a lot of upgradability.
Well, like I said, it'd be kind of cool to have a piston that goes off and shoots you in the face if you lose.
That would be fun.
Little air puff letting you know.
Well, that's right. We were going to do like an air puff. Yeah, to simulate like a blaster bolt hitting you. Just a little physical. That was something I totally forgot about.
Yeah,
that.
We didn't have time.
Yeah. We were going to make it so when he won, there'd be a little directed air puff that would hit you in the chest so you would feel something. Like, whoa, and we thought that would really, although one other reason why we weren't going to be able to do it is because if kids played it, it would hit them right in the face. Which, you know what?
That'll be fun.
It'll be fine. So anyway, we have no plans yet for this month for giveaways or what the prize might be. Getting back into it's going to be kind of slow. I'm not even sure if we're going to do a full hour tonight because we have literally not very much planned. So if anybody wants to throw out a talking points or anything like that.
And I'm dying.
And Rodney's not feeling very good. He actually should be at home right now in bed. He just didn't want to see me come out here and suffer by myself.
Loyalty is a bitch.
But to be honest, I personally and Hayden also and what's up, Short Trooper? Anyway, the rest of us, all of us have missed doing it. The Short Trooper is a project that I started a while.
Spanned multiple years.
I started this Short Trooper a long time ago. I had a helmet mold made. It was a very early helmet mold, and it did not perform the way I wanted it to. So this has been on the back shelf, and I think it's going to be moved back to the front shelf, and I'm going to start making these helmets here pretty soon.
Which means I got to build a Short Trooper kit.
And this was out because Hayden likes to play with the leather stuff I have laying around, which it sounds weird, but it's always magazine holders and pouches. It's not like he's looking for my old.
I'm being quiet.
He's not even paying attention. He's asleep over there. Yeah. So, I actually have had to pick up at work extra hours. Not for any reason besides the fact we're extremely busy because we have a new owner, and every car that comes in the lot he wants to keep. So we've got a lot of vehicles at work, and I have to actually start picking up more hours to get some of these jobs done. So it's kind of cut down on me being down here and doing anything. That's why the only cleaning I did was right after the con. I haven't actually done the con reshuffle. Like,
You know, I kind of miss living here with you every
I actually miss
freaking
not
day.
having you here either. Also, it was kind of like
Every day we're
It's
working
like-
on the stupid project.
dinner and then go downstairs and unlock the door and let Rodney in the house, which I should just keep. I told Hayden the other day, or last week, or the week before last, when all this was going on, that I should just leave that basement door, just leave it unlocked, because I'm constantly having to go down and let somebody in when, yeah. But yeah, you didn't come by. It's been weird because you stopped by like every day after work.
Because we had to get this done.
I know. We're building another one, but it's not gonna be at that level of desperation.
It's going to be working. Like, for example, this cord was a linchpin of problems.
This is the beginning of where our problems came from.
All right.
And
Yeah, I had put 2 silicone coated wires in there. I was using it to run the trigger.
I think those wires were a little bit
Too thin.
too
and
thin,
no...
and you could almost break them with your fingers.
That's what ended up happening. They got broke because of that bolt that was in there.
Yeah. So
we're replacing that with actually a guitar amp cord.
and to be honest, this actually we thought about this, and we thought about the wiring harness. There is actually a steel cable in here also. It's a 1/8-inch steel cable,
Which I had to cut to get to the wire.
Yeah. Oh, you did cut it?
Yeah.
So then it was just all harness?
Yeah.
Oh.
But that doesn't matter.
So on version 2, I've decided, even though it's going to cost a lot more money, it's going to be a real Denix Mauser that you are going to get to take apart, put all the trigger stuff, everything in it to make it function properly. And then I'm going to make aluminum. I'm going to make aluminum parts for it. Hernan! Hey!
Soy bueno.
Hey, we're back too. Did you miss us, or did you even notice we were gone? So, yes.
Part of the problem with that is the trigger. So we just have a trigger backing up on a little momentary switch.
Yeah.
So it feels a little spongy.
It doesn't, it just feels, it moves, it does the job. If you squeeze the trigger, it's going to do the job. It just doesn't give you any feedback. Yeah. That's good to see you too. And, I don't know if you noticed or not, but we weren't on at all last month. We were deep in a con build and
up to our eyeballs in pain
and suffering. And yes, but that is all over. We have one more con related thing going on, and that is the party we have coming up in a few weeks. I heard there's going to be brisket and macaroni and cheese. And we are going to put to bed this con and either
rise like a phoenix from
the ashes, or do like what old MacArthur say: old soldiers don't die, they just fade away. Which no one understood what the heck he was talking about. But we might just fade away. We won't fade away from this, but some of our other operations. Yes, we were just talking about this, Hernan. If you didn't catch it, we built a gunfighting Mandalorian for this year's Cincinnati Comic Expo. It was technically difficult trying to get everything to work properly, and when we finally did get it working properly, we took it to the con, and everything broke, so it never did do its job. But we figured out a lot, and we were going to build number 2, and we actually might document this.
I intend to.
The second build, we're going to document it. Throw it up on the channel, maybe even have updates down here on it.
Yeah, Rodney's Mad Science, 15 minutes.
Yeah. And we already know what Matt's policy is about your little robots.
Which is why we trick him. I drank it all. I drank all the Gorilla Glue. Explains why I'm all stuffed up.
Anyway, also, there was... Oh, cool.
Hernan, you're like a biomed or something. You want to come up here and help us with this?
Yeah, there you go.
Why don't you run it for the growing crowd?
run it for the growing crowd. Hey, there's Sean. Okay, so go through the process of what you do. Push the button. Here you go. Get your gun.
you in good. You in head.
This would be the gun you would use. And then, okay, the way it is, the Mando never draws first. So there's a switch in the holster.
There's a sensor inside the holster. When that sensor realizes the gun has been moved,
So when
then
you
it
pull
starts.
the gun, he draws and fires.
And it makes a pew pew noise.
Yeah. And depending on who wins, depends on which blaster sound we hear.
Yep, and the arm drops right away if the player wins.
Yeah, it'd be like that. If he wins, like that. Oh, it is? You know, funny, Hernan, a friend of mine gave me those because this set of pouches didn't come with the oiler. And I said, why didn't you just make the oiler? It's the simplest part of the pouch. It's just a little, and he's like, I ordered another one, and here you can have this one for your build. And I'm like, hey, cool, thank you. So I was like, that's one less piece. I'll have to make an oiler for mine.
That was Jason, right?
That was Jason.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you again, Jason Rutledge, for that. I appreciate it. Yeah. But I used to see them all the time on eBay. And then I think all the shore troopers gobbled them up, is what I think. And, you know, it's funny because the shore troopers have continued being seen in like The Mandalorian and stuff like that. And those pouches have showed up in a few other places. You know, Lucasfilm might be eating up what's left of them. Although you'd think they'd have enough in inventory by now. Yes. Oh, none on eBay. Ooh, okay. That was where I saw them last. I haven't looked for a long time because I've only in Europe, but it's so expensive in Europe. Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry, the euro is falling.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah.
It's mostly shipping costs. I mean,
It is probably shipping costs.
Once again, if we get a boat, we can just import these illegally.
You know, down on the, I'm trying to think. I think it's on the Pacific side. There's some people in Panama, like a group of hippies out in the woods. They are building a commercial sailing cargo ship. Yes, and
don't those exist already?
no, actually, I tell you what happened. All the cargo vessels that were sail powered, their last hurrah was in, say, the late 20s, 30s, and maybe through the World War II era. But one of the last big Cape Horn races. Basically, what happened was sailing vessels were only still economically viable in areas where the steamships didn't. It was cost prohibitive. So they were doing grain races from Australia to Europe and other parts of the world. And so they would go around the Cape and back up and everything. And that was the last of the last hurrah of the sailing cargo ships.
As long as I get a cannon, I'm fine.
Oh, that's our pirate ship.
Captain Larry.
Captain Larry. Who is there? Joe? No, Joe is still. Joe is.
Ooh, we can talk about. We can talk about Joe's engagement.
Oh yeah, Joe got engaged over at the expo, which was great, and Tom Arnold gave him marriage advice.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He said, "Don't marry Roseanne."
Pretty much, that was it.
Remember when we talked to him?
Yeah.
He was actually fun to talk to.
I really couldn't hear anything because I had my helmet on.
Yeah, well.
And then Dan was standing beside me, so I really couldn't hear anything.
And then most time after that, you're not even paying attention.
No.
Yeah. So Joe was up here for the con a week before the con and during the con, and he went back. He left Saturday night or Sunday night. They started heading back home right away. No, we still have Hayden as our new director. You've been directing what for now? Over a year and a half now?
I don't keep Trent.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's something we can do when we go out to the wedding. We make a show about that
My name.
because you know you're going to be forced to go to the wedding.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go to the wedding. I'll go to the wedding. I love weddings. Heidi. He's getting close. You want to correct?
No, it's Heidi.
Oh, I'm
Says
sorry.
Hi to her not.
Oh. So anyway,
I'm the all direct. I'm a definite.
you're not the alternate director. You're the director now. Only Joe came back and directed one time.
Can we rename this episode "Catching Hernan Back Up"?
Catching Hernan. That's fine. We can give. It's been a while since we talked to Hernan. So yeah, Hernan. We used a very large amount of Gorilla Glue, and thankfully, there is a Gorilla Glue factory that is just less than 3 miles from here. So we're still well supplied.
Matt leaves.
Matt.
Get with the program. If you want to be called Heidi, then change your screen name.
Matt needs to just go ahead and you just need to get your own account again. When you're out of YouTube jail, just start your own account.
Hernan, I got a question. Do you have a werewolf problem in Chile?
Chupacabra.
Mm-hmm.
That's more Puerto Rico.
Mm. Well, I have nothing else going on. Does anybody want to talk about anything? Because besides a shore trooper.
Hey, oh.
Hayden, what do you got?
Where is Hernan from?
Chile.
Chile.
Do they have aliens there? I know there's a place in
was
Brazil.
Yeah, there was a lot of
has
stuff in
aliens.
Brazil, but I don't know,
What is it called? What is that place called?
where they always see the aliens.
Yeah, where is it?
The UFOs?
It's like it starts with a V.
I have no idea. So like I said, yes. Oh, see, he said, yeah, it's common.
Werewolves
Awesome.
or aliens?
I mean, can we?
Yeah, Hayden wants to be verified. Aliens, UFOs, or werewolves.
Could be a combination.
If you got werewolves,
Space werewolves.
Rodney is packing a kit and coming down.
Yeah.
He's spending his vacation hunting werewolves.
Which I can do it up here, but it'd be more fun if I don't speak the language.
Well,
very
you were talking about going. Yeah, it'd be more fun when you can't speak the language. You're probably right. Trying to explain what you're doing.
Anunnakis. I know what that is.
Hey, there we go. It's Jeff.
At the start tonight, we had an unexpected visitor.
Probably an alien.
Unexpected visitors are like home invaders or robbers.
Things just haven't been the same since the flying saucers came.
And scrambled your brain.
To be honest, I haven't felt right since the con.
You gotta relate that to UFOs.
I am going to relate that to UFOs.
Anything to avoid personal.
Maybe the con
No,
was
I
like,
accept all personal responsibility.
maybe
Like
the
we
con
just
was
shifted
like
to
a
UFO.
pivotal moment in history where if we did it a different way, everything would be different.
What are you talking about?
Like
So,
maybe the con is the reason we're at the edge of World War III.
possibly, but to be honest, this is probably there's a theory that this is the second age of man. The first age of man was wiped out by a gigantic flood,
Oh my God.
and the reason why they say you can't find any records of it is because that civilization probably lived on, just like most of our major cities, they're on the edge of the oceans, but with the ice age, the ocean levels were much, much lower, and those cities were much, much further out. So all the archaeological evidence is way out on like the Atlantic shelf, and in between in the British
Now,
Channel
are you
and all that
sure
stuff.
that these cities were not actually in the center of the earth and repopulated by the Nazis? When Hitler
No,
escaped
no,
in
we're
the
not
submarine?
going. We're not going on that theory. It's no. Yeah. No. So is that your version of con crud this time, Jeff? Bronchitis?
Where are the ruins to these cities?
Well, one of the major things is the water damage to the enclosure of the Sphinx. The amount of water needed to create that type of damage on those walls.
See, that was the problem. They left it outside.
Yeah, they should have built a big building around it.
Yeah.
Had installed good water management systems.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was just a water feature. You don't know.
You never know, but the amount of rain required to cause that type of erosion hadn't existed in like 10,000 years in that region. Okay. Are they having a side conversation? Is that what I'm
they're
saying?
having
Okay.
a cyber conversation.
So anyway, what's on the list this month for us? We're secretly working on a project that we're going to tell you about. We're rebuilding this guy. We actually had a package come tonight or today that has key components.
Yeah, I'm collecting components that we're going to need and also drawing out the plans of how to make this work.
We're actually
doing it.
making a wiring diagram, switches, relays, valves, all the fun stuff that we did not do the first time, which made it very difficult to go back and fix anything because nothing was also labeled.
Yeah, it was like, well, we needed to do this. Okay.
And,
we need to do this too.
And if you went over here, the red wire did something totally different on the other side.
Yeah, there was some issues. It was very slapdash.
Yeah, it was but it worked so well when it was a pile of switches, relays, and valves here on the table.
I blame Matt.
I'm not going to blame anybody. I blame myself.
No, I blame Matt for everything. So we're blaming Matt.
Okay. Well, anyway, I blame.
Yes, Sean, I know I have to fix your amp.
Didn't it have just like a slight crackle he didn't like?
Yeah, and then I replaced the
See,
pickups, and then the pickups weren't working right, and I haven't had a chance to really tear it apart.
See, so basically he came in for a tune-up, and now he's getting an engine.
Part of the problem is I don't have a workshop other than here to actually work on anything.
Well, you can just set it here and then stop and work on it an hour or two a night and then go on home.
I might just do that.
That's easy. You got lighting down here, very few distractions. This table is clean.
For now.
No, it is clean and it's going to stay clean. Well, tomorrow night it'll get dirty, but then we'll just.
Deb bought 27 pounds of foam.
Why? Is this for the body form?
I don't know exactly what this is for. I think this has to do with she wants to do Doomslayer because she keeps talking to me about making a helmet.
Yes, you can go ahead and make an announcement.
Go ahead. It's not like traffic doesn't even come with it. More engagement is better for us.
Yes, every bit helps. Because we were going to stop 4 minutes ago.
I wasn't aware of that.
I said we had nothing to talk about, so we'll probably only go a half hour. All right, what's the announcement, Matt?
Go for it.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
We are. Must be a lot of typing.
No.
Is this might be an announcement about Jeff's origin story?
Is it non-fiction?
How he became his own personal superhero. Oh, here it comes. Oh. Okay. Well, that's terrible.
Isn't it the date that we're...
That's the night of the Mando party.
I think that is the actual date, though.
Yeah, I think it is. So, is there any information on, is there any, a link or anything that you might want to put down to,
North Dakota?
Bismarck, Germany?
No, North Dakota.
Bismarck, Germany?
No, North Dakota.
Bismarck, Germany?
No.
we have members of 501st. Well, that's cool.
I know about Fargo because there was that movie where the guy goes in the wood chipper.
Yeah. Fargo was actually
Steve
a good movie.
Buscemi.
Was it Steve?
Yeah, it was Steve Buscemi.
North Dakota. He said North Dakota. I've been to North Dakota and I've been to South Dakota. I've been to the Dakotas.
You just drove through it.
No, we stopped. We stopped at Custer's Last Stand, and I think I went to Deadwood, but maybe we did just drive through North Dakota. I think all that stuff's in South Dakota.
I was there at Custer's Last Stand with my brother when we were teenagers.
Stay on the path. There's rattlesnakes.
Yeah, well, we found that out. And it was the date where it happened and the time when it happened. This giant storm picked up, and my dad had been telling us about this Twilight Zone episode where the guys in the tank ended up in Little Bighorn, and my brother was terrified and tied a rope around himself and handed the rope to my mom, so if he got sucked into a vortex, she could pull him out.
Okay. I don't know. I wonder if do they have a decent, I don't know anybody out that direction as far as clubs.
Where are they going to make West Dakota?
They're not going to.
Why not?
There's no need to.
Yes, there is.
After we annex Canada.
Yeah.
We're not going to annex Canada.
We should annex Canada.
We don't want to annex Canada because whenever we go overseas, we just tell everybody we're Canadian and they leave us alone.
No, they will just use the...
Look, if most Americans can't find a place on a map, what's the rest of the world like? It's just going to be as bad.
I hate those videos.
You know what? The reason why, people say, oh, well, Americans aren't that traveled. It's like, have you ever seen how big the U.S. is? So. All
right.
United States.
Pet peeve. Every time I've been outside of the U.S., whenever I run into anybody from the U.S., I instantly hate them.
So,
of course, most of the people I run into are like from New Jersey. But
I will say one thing about, I love Gorilla Glue, but this particular product, I do not like.
Is that the one my daughter used the entire?
No. This was one of the replacement ones. I said, Matt, why did you get this? And he said they had nothing else. So it's a squeezy one. See right here, you turn it upside down and you squeeze, and it allows you to use 10 times more glue than you normally use by gravity.
If it's the gel and not
then
the
when
liquid,
it gets down low, squeeze. Oh, another pet peeve: do not ever buy the green lid Gorilla Glue, because that is gel. If you're going to use it one time only and then go through it, that's good. But gel, in my opinion, is just basically half set up Gorilla Glue already. And
I actually like it.
But it wears out. It dries out faster.
Well, I use the same, as long as you take care of it, but I use that stuff for putting together flow sensors.
It is kind of like, but the Loctite bottle. Okay, I can tell you right now that this has 0.21 ounces and probably costs $6. When you go to get the regular like this, it's 0.84 ounces and costs $5. You're paying all that extra money for the squeezy, handy, cool little bottle, which, what do we say around here about packaging?
We're paying for
To answer your
You're just paying for the package.
That was discussed years ago, but we haven't moved forward.
What's that one?
Night Owl helmets.
Oh, yeah. We kind of messed around with them a little while. There was an issue about sizing because it was either okay, when we do guys' helmets, it's easy.
Does it fit Matt's head?
If it fits Matt's head, even if it just fits Matt's head, that's what we go with. On girl helmets, we found that it's really weird because a helmet will fit good on certain girls, and then other times it won't even, and it seems to be like almost like you got to come up with 2 or 3 sizes for girls because even like if you go with like teenage girls, sometimes, I don't know, it's difficult. I found it's difficult to get it right, especially with smaller frames and smaller bodies.
Well, my oldest daughter has a head bigger than I have. So.
See, there you go. Then we would go into the Matt range. Like this here barely fits Matt. Just almost doesn't fit him. But if he wanted a short troop, this would be it.
Adam and I did take over the Rebel base.
Cool.
That was about it for the con. they left it, and so we sat down in the Rebel base and started redirecting everybody to the 501st.
There you go. Actually, this is the first. This is the second blaster I made on the bullnose frame.
What are you gonna do with it?
We're gonna put this. We're gonna hang this just like this on the wall of shame because of all the rest of the evidence of this defeat.
Yeah, where'd Ficker's gun go?
Ficker's gun has been down for several years. It's actually up there. It's just in the back. He's no longer around. I got tired of answering the reason why. And then there's the generations have gone on, new people coming in, and people are like, they don't know who John is. Yes, they are going to eventually be together or available. Right now, the armor is too big. That chest armor comes beyond where my shoulders will bend.
This was very slapdash.
Well, this was actually going to be production armor originally, masters for production armor, and technically, some of it could be used for that. But we're having a whole. You need E22 blaster rifle.
We got one for Larry, didn't we?
I did make one for Larry. That was a 3D printed kit, and I've wanted to do an E22 complete kit, but okay, the E22s were the movie ones were made. They were probably 3D printed, to be honest. I wanted to do an E22 with real sterling parts, that's what they were mimicking, and I wanted to put real life parts and markings into the E22 by using original sterling parts. And that's still my final goal, is to make a more, I guess, realistic looking one. Even though the ones in the movies, they look great, but up close, they're just, I think, like I said, I think they're all 3D prints. They're probably 3D printed, and then they printed them and cast them in resin and rubber and all that kind of stuff. They're designed to be copies of E11 parts, and I just want to use real E11 parts to make my master. And that's actually a project I started when I started this helmet, and I got it together and it looked really good, and then I gave the whole everything I did, I gave it away to somebody who finished it into his own blaster, and he loves it. But I am going to do an E22. I just don't know when. I have a list of things to do, and one of the big things is trying to get my entire Etsy inventory back up to where it was before I got in trouble about the orange tips. And that was a perfect segue for you to throw up the Etsy. And he's asleep. Our director is suffering from
Nappy time Titus.
No, it actually has not been sent out just because I'm super busy. It's sitting right there, right in front of me, all boxed up, ready to go. So I will be sending that out sometime this week, Matt. Besides that, what else you got going on? I think that's the ESB stunt too. That was the last. Yeah, it has been a while.
The month-long explanation of the L44.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was because I was doing the whole. I went down the DL44.
Production line is still not come to fruition.
A&H Hero rabbit hole. And then I discovered some serial number inconsistencies, and then then I went nuts, didn't I?
Yeah, you went real far.
Yeah, I went so deep. I was just like,
This makes my werewolf theory look.
No.
Not the same. We actually have evidence.
We have evidence.
We have evidence of werewolves.
Yeah, fringe evidence.
I'll find a picture on Etsy.
You know what we should work on? Vampire kits.
Vampire
Like
kits might
hunting
sell.
or
They might sell.
No, because I wanted to. I actually had an idea of doing several years ago doing a gambler's kit, And then that morphed into doing a vampires kit.
Now, is this for the vampire or hunting the vampire?
Hunting a vampire.
Not becoming a vampire.
Yeah, not becoming a vampire.
Or aiding a vampire.
Yeah. Well, basically, back in the old West, there would be guys that would go around that had these cases, and you open up the cases, and it was all kinds of mini gambling games, and they would set up gambling venues. You know, they would set up in a saloon or
Yeah, this
set
doesn't
up.
sound like it would get us in trouble at all.
No, but I've seen real life examples of them, and I would like to recreate them. They look like old antiques, but they're just new replicas. I actually, tell you the truth, I've had this had this idea of doing that and wanting to do that for almost 20 years now. I remember when I came up with the idea, and I used to talk to your mama about stuff like that all the time.
You know, I've always wanted to make rigged games.
You know, that's not going to catch on with anyone except the guys running the games.
So you're heading to Texas. Oh, yeah. Actually, not a bad idea, doing 3D printed helmets, because you can better get their sizes. And actually, for doing helmets, I actually have this right here.
The noggin measuring device?
The noggin measuring device. So, people that would call me and want to commission a 3D printed helmet from me, they would always send me their hat size.
Which is useless.
Which is absolutely 100% useless. I would tell them I need this measurement from ear to ear, and I need this measurement from here to the top of your head, like so. And then I need this from your nose to the little bally part in the back of your head, right there. And with those 3 measurements, you can scale out the proper size of a helmet.
You got more patches than I do.
I have a lot of patches, yes. And I have patches in the pockets that you gave me. Oops, sorry, Hayden. Sorry. I have pockets in the patches that you gave me.
Pockets in the patches?
Patches in the pockets. And that one pocket that I sewed shut, putting this patch on, I still have not fixed. Which Hayden has been loving for the last, I don't know, like 2. Yeah, I need to run a seam ripper through it. But anyway. Still, that tickles you to no end, doesn't it? It was like you were there when I did it. He was there when I discovered that I'd done it. I was like, oh, this is nice. It's like, where is that? Maybe I put my keys. I can't put my hand in this pocket. Now I got my official old school dewback. I got my Rancor clan. That's a new patch or the old patch?
That's the old patch.
Got my shore troopers celebration 6, 7, 8. Celebration 8. Jeez, Pete's. Imperial Cog. I got this is the X-Wing game. Oh no, that's Pathfinder's TK Bear Crew X-Wing patch from the X-Wing game we have. The Pit Crew patch, Ohio Garrison 10th anniversary patch, TIE Fighter, TIE Pilot patch. I got a few more patches on. And then I got I Aim to Misbehave, and I have my asshole patch I got from Matt.
Remember when that one air cavalry guy was like, what are those patches on me?
Yeah.
In Lowe's.
Yeah.
I was like, what unit is that? What is that? I was like, oh, I run a prop group. I was like, no, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
For charity.
Oh, I
got it.
I had to do the same explanation was when I was wearing my 501st patch. What unit was that?
It's like, oh, Fallujah.
And then I got the big one on the back, which is a big back patch, which is all the Ohio Garrison big patch.
Ramadi, Fallujah.
Coruscant.
Just start naming random cities.
Oh, what do we got? Sorry, it's a lot to type. I am slow. That's all right. Go ahead and type all you need. Take all the time you want.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, sorry. Keep talking while I'm reading. Somebody.
Oh,
I was filling that air with don't forget to
Don't forget. Yeah, like and subscribe. Yes, and thank you. Thank you for all the new people. Even though we were off all month, we gained what, 15 people for being off?
Track. You can watch the graph.
Okay, we watched.
the question is, are they bots?
No, they're not.
No, they're yeah.
They get around.
Yeah, so we have gained subscribers, but what do you think you add those subscribers up to the Mandalorian helmet mold?
I don't know. It doesn't show you anymore where they subscribe from.
Right. I wish that did though.
Yeah, our mom's back as well.
Did they realize we're a train wreck?
No.
We are a train wreck. Oh, do you want to show off the dumpster fire shirt that you
Oh yeah, Matt's shirt.
This was a gift to Matt from Rodney.
It's covered in crap.
It's covered in workshop crap. Dumpster fires are hot.
Do the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And there's your dumpster coin.
I do have. Where's the dumpster coin?
I don't know. I gave it to you. Well, I gave it to Matt to give to you.
That's a trash compactor coin. Yeah. But anyway,
I got it from the Roxy guys.
yeah. So I had multiple people try to order helmets, have me build helmets that
No longer build?
no, giving me no, I was doing 3D prints. They would actually get the helmet print and they would assemble it and do all the work and everything. I was just printing them out. But they would always send me their hat size. Like, dude, the hat size does not help me in this endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would help if when you had a helmet sitting there and it says this fits this size head from here to there, but that's not usually how it works. You have to get the reference and then scale it to fit.
Yeah,
all
I
the
remember
parameters.
doing this, and it was a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the butt, and it's kind of hit and miss sometimes. And I tell them it's like it is kind of hit and miss, so you're going to have to maybe do some custom work to it. But no, I 3D printed these. I just found a set of quick calipers, and I 3D printed them, scaled them up because they were smaller. But I scaled them up to fit. I think it's not quarter 20. Can't remember what size bolt that is.
Big ass. Just say
It's
big ass.
larger. Yeah, it's a larger bolt.
And wing nut.
But it fits perfect because I scaled it to fit perfect. And this has been handy. It sits right up here, and people say, "I need you to do me a helmet," and I say, "Here," and give it to them. It's like, measure your head,
And then they stare at it for 5 minutes.
and then they give me their measurements, and we go. Ah, cool.
Don't sneeze.
Sneeze away.
So anyway, we had an excellent. We had well, not an excellent time. We had a good time getting. Well, we didn't even have a good time getting.
No
ready
one
for the
died.
con. We had a rough con year. How's that?
That works.
It was a special year. But next year we will either not do anything for the con except go and attend and have fun, or kill ourselves, but for something that is totally fun and rewarding.
Something we want to do.
More what we want to do, yes.
Do you have any of those plastic skeletons?
We do. His name is Bob, and he has been retired since the he's been retired since the cell block got retired. But we do have this guy. What's his name?
That's Bob the Skull.
This is Bob the Skull. I made Bob the Skull's eyes, and I made them in a very special way. Bob has a removable head.
Bob is actually a medical skull.
Yeah, actually, we're pretty sure that this is a Chinese prisoner?
Indian. They were all Indian.
Oh, so these are the guys that would sign off their bodies before they died.
Yeah.
So this is Indian. Okay. So anyway, I made the eyeballs, so they're removable. So they got a little, like the little hanging optic nerve.
Ew.
You like that?
No.
You don't like that?
It's too good.
It's too good.
Anyway, Bob the Skull is a project that we started but never got further than getting the skull. Not because of not knowing how to do it.
I
but
mean,
because
internally, it's
other
got the
things
little
happened.
pathways where the optic nerves go and everything. It's really cool skull.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so you got to follow the optic nerve hole in the skull, right there. I'm failing.
Pistol.
What about the pistol?
Where'd it go?
Which one?
Over the Sphinx. Sheffield. Whatever it was. The thing that looks like a Colt 45.
What are you talking about?
The stupid pistol you're using as a holster filler.
The
Oh,
gun?
the 911?
That's what I said. Colt 45.
Well, it's
That's not a Colt
quite a
45.
911.
It could be a Colt 45 Peacemaker. You got to say 911, dude.
They all look the same.
911? No, it's 1911. I own one.
They had the same.
1911. I'm
Love
sorry. Did I say 911?
Yes,
Sorry,
you did.
1911.
911 times 100.
1911. Either way, it was a Browning design. Oh, there, I got it. See,
It's a Browning design?
yeah.
Okay.
I love my 1911.
You still made the Browning auto.
See, there you go. See how nice that is inside there? See where the optic nerve goes through into the skull? Now we're all being educated by Bob.
No, we're not.
Anyway, there he is. So no, we don't have any complete skeletons laying around.
I want a couple so I could kind of pseudo dress
He's
them
like,
up
here-
as the two of you.
Here you go. Here you go. Do you remember old Blue Eyes? There you go, Bob.
If you want, we can
It's
cast
still
another
Blue
Bob the
Eyes.
Skull. You get a 2 Bob the
That
Skulls.
is a great skull, though. That is a very nice skull.
It was pretty cheap back in the day.
The 1911 is, where was that?
It was on the tape.
Why are we on the 1911 that's actually a pellet gun?
It's actually a pellet gun, yeah. Because he just likes the whole.
There it is.
See, I did something with it. What do we got?
Oh, we're talking about when Shatner donated the key to the city for an auction.
Oh,
the
really?
Autism Center? Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, it makes me sad because since Shatner Ball back in the day, which we were at, I always wanted to capture Shatner.
Which Shatner?
Bill Shatner.
There's a Bill Shatner? You mean what?
William Shatner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Shatner Ball, he was leading one of the teams.
The Mando helmet actually, sorry, is painted. I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh, I was just reminiscing.
Just William Shatner, huh?
Yeah.
Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk stories by Rodney. Actually, the paint job that's on him right now, his helmet is just an aluminum spray paint. It's not very good at all. The paint job on the armor is a different paint job. It actually still looks better than the helmet does. The helmet's a little bit flat, but probably under the lighting, you can't tell as much. We're trying, though.
What's the key to this? Is the city lock door?
So he
It
was given
unlocks nothing.
he was given the key to the city, and
Yeah, I didn't know
he
Cincinnati
decided to sell
had a
it.
key. I mean, I figured that everybody just walks in and out. It's Cincinnati. It's not like it's a real city.
We're not a walled city.
A gated city.
No, walled.
Gated.
Walled.
Although I have some friends that live in a gated community.
We have a river.
We do have a river. Matter of fact, that river was possibly going to be a barrier against the Confederate Army coming up this way. That's why they didn't finish the suspension bridge.
Wouldn't have done anything.
But anyway, what is it? The girls' bathroom.
Hernan put a skull like that one in the girl's bathroom, and he thought it was fun.
Oh,
With or without a camera built into
Hernan,
it.
you
Hernan.
will like. With the, does it have the eyeballs that move like this one? So Hernan, you will like this. So the former owner of this house worked for the school district. He was kind of like a janitor slash handyman. And the actual door to come down into the workshop is an old girls from the high school. It's the girls' locker room door. So if you go to the top of the stairs and look at the back of the door, it has the letters like they're tacked on. Girls. It's been painted over, but it's still on there. It's the girls' locker room from the old high school.
Let's go to Chile.
Kind of chilly or chilling?
We want to go to Chile.
Oh,
Chile.
Well, we got a place to stay if Hernan can put us all up.
It's one big line, though, isn't it? Or is that Peru? Which one's the line?
Chile's the line.
Chile is the line.
I actually knew what you were talking
And
about.
it's got a bunch of volcanoes.
Learn to love volcanoes.
I don't really want to.
Therein lies the above average UFO activity.
I always wanted to fight aliens. Do you think we could trade them stuff for better technology?
Yes.
I'll give them a T-shirt for a blaster pistol.
We'll trade them back the things that allegedly they gave us the ideas for.
Velcro?
Yeah, exactly. I was exactly going to say that.
There you go.
So we're going to trade Velcro for
More Velcro, better Velcro.
better
Metal
Velcro.
Velcro.
This stuff
It's scratching the hook and loop. It's all loop, and it just works. We don't know why.
No, we don't know why.
It's all fuzzy side Velcro.
Which is how the tiles were held on the space shuttle.
Velcro? No, it was
like a metal
liquid
Velcro.
nail out of the caulking gun. Yeah,
Barge cement.
parts cement. All right. Wow.
Got a bunch of boom mountains.
We have really went off the reservation. This
We
time.
were on the reservation to begin with. We had no plans. We were just going to talk about our monumental failure.
El Mendo.
Thank you, buddy. But if it,
volunteer. Where'd your mic go?
it was just the thing.
I just saw like a little mouse scurry across your chest.
Is this broken?
What?
No, it's supposed. Okay, that right there. No one realizes this, but that's a little roundy thing, and that's where he would put the tracking fobs.
Okay, because I think my finger's stuck.
There's a screw in there, so it's not like a Russian finger or a Chinese finger trap. It's kind of more like a Russian Chinese finger trap. It's got a screw that grabs.
So you did that on
That actually
purpose to
hurt.
get my finger stuck.
No, I did not. But these guys here, these are actually coated with real aluminum. And if you watch how I make the Empire Strikes Back force pikes, this is aluminum tape. That's what covers those guys. That's why they look so good.
Jeff, we are artists. We are not manufacturers. We do what we want, yo.
We're going to light duty manufacture. We're going to streamline, 5 kits, maybe 5 wiring harnesses.
Yeah, but he's talking about the bike.
Oh, you know what? To be honest,
I don't want to spend another 4 hours sitting on the freaking bike.
You don't have to spend
wooden
another.
seat hurts
That
my
seat.
butt.
That seat is wood / 1/8" foam.
There's no foam.
There is foam.
Well, my butt doesn't have any padding. I'll tell you that.
We're actually. I could come up with, and I thought about this multiple times since we built the speeder bike. Since everything we've built, from the speeder bike to the Wampa Cave to this guy right here, we've built them all. And the first time we build anything, it actually doesn't turn out the way we had exactly hoped. But if we had a couple $1,000s more on every one of those, we could rebuild them, and it would be so much better.
If we had the budget Adam Savage has.
Patreon.
Well, they got tested, what 5 million subscribers now?
Yeah, if we had the budget Adam Savage has, you'd never hear of Adam Savage again.
Yes, Adam Savage has been. Make way for the bit crew.
The new old annoying.
It would be
people.
one of those things. Adam Savage. Oh yeah, he was the guy in that Don't Squeeze a Charmin commercial from 1979.
Yeah.
What was the guy? The Mr.
Wimple.
Wimple.
Oh my God, I remembered that.
Mr. Wimple. What was the Time to Make the Donuts guy? That's kind of another growing up guy.
Did he have a name?
I don't
He
think
was
he's the
Dunkin'
donuts
Donuts.
guy, right?
Time to make the donuts.
The throne did turn out perfect the first time.
And you had blueprints and everything.
Well, I was involved in the sewing and that.
No,
and my
here's
daughter
the thing,
turned on all
Sean.
the saws.
Sean, the thing about it is, Adam Savage's workshop is actually no bigger than this basement. That's the thing about his workshop.
He's got a lot more layers.
He's got, okay, if you add in the dirt room, his area is no smaller, but his welding area is kind of like the dirt room. What he has that we have, what he doesn't have that we do have, is a furnace and a chimney sitting right in the middle of everything.
He also has a Bridgeport. I'd love to have a Bridgeport.
No, he no longer has a Bridgeport. He upgraded to something else.
There's no upgrade from the Bridgeport.
No, the Bridgeport is gone. He got a new machine.
You can't get a new machine. There's nothing better than the
He
Bridgeport.
got a new machine. He no longer has a Bridgeport. It's been over a year since he got rid of the Bridgeport.
I'm freezing as well.
Oh, so
Would
it's
you like my
not just me
coat,
being
sir?
sick.
Everything's being. I feel like I'm.
Maybe I infected you.
No, I always feel cold.
Good night, Matt.
Night, Matt.
Mr. Wimple.
I think I lost.
Good night, Sean.
Buds.
See you, buddy.
Not to be confused with Mr. Wendell.
No, he's
Who was that band from the 90s?
Which one?
When it did Tennessee. And then they had the homeless guy up on stage all the time, Mr. Wendell.
I don't remember this.
It was kind of pseudo hip hop-ish.
Oh, well. Anyway.
Are we signing off?
Yeah, we're going to sign off here pretty soon. Next week, now I was debating on starting the speeder bike rebuild project, which should have been done prior to the con, but we weren't able to do it. There's kind of a lot of weirdness going on with the pit crew anyway. So, but the speeder bike, regardless of whatever happens, is going to be rebuilt. It's going to have primarily, pretty much what we're planning to do is replace all the wood parts with aluminum. And that is going to require some metal lathe work, which we got the lathe over to the right here.
I thought we were just going to melt down a bunch of beer cans.
And it's also going to require some casting work, which comes into Rodney melting down a bunch of beer cans, which is a shame because pretty much all we drink out of down here are beer cans or beer bottles.
I'll get Alex to help. Alex will help. It'll be his next burn down the city
you know
project.
what? I have about 200 pounds of radiators out back just for this process.
What you don't know is us mad scientists all hang out together, sort of. We all find each other.
Arrested Development.
That was it, yes.
There you go. Thank you, Daryl.
Tennessee was a battleship.
Tennessee was a battleship.
It's also a state.
It's also a state. Did you know
there are werewolves there?
Werewolf
Springs is in Tennessee.
Was it the battle of Chattanooga that Abraham Lincoln's brother-in-law got killed on the Confederate side?
Don't know.
I think it was.
Chattanooga is in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think. I don't know what it happened in Tennessee, and I do know that Abraham Lincoln's brother-in-law was killed in battle on the side of the Confederacy, which is kind of funny with social media and the way things work today. Could you imagine if we split and the media finds out your brother-in-law is part of the South?
Still happens today.
I know it does, but
I don't know. My plan during the civil conflict is to fight both sides and start my own country.
Turn everyone against each other and then rule over the ashes.
Yes, Bartertown.
Bartertown.
I don't think that's a wise idea.
Bartertown was pretty cool.
Cool, but not good.
Thunderdome is where everything was settled. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. All right, we're rambling. If there's no more important things to go over, we appreciate everybody showing up tonight, even though we abandoned you for a month. We apologize, and I'm actually excited to get it back to this because I really did miss doing this. And Rodney, he's Rodney. He doesn't really.
I care about nothing.
Yes. Watch the world burn just to rule over the ashes. Rodney is the best way I've ever figured out to explain Rodney is Pinky and the Brain.
Do you know what they called me at the con?
But Pinky and the Brain are both in his brain. That is the thing, is world domination and ineptitude at the exact same time. It's a very fun thing.
After the whole fiasco of the Geek Prom
The
and
Mando
what we were dealing with, the entire pit crew at one point referred to me as Megamind.
Megamind. That makes sense. But I actually truly, it's an endearing thing when I it's Pinky and the Brain, but you're both.
We might even sign on.
You know exactly what that means too, right? You have the plans for world domination. You have the technology. You have everything, and you also have the ability to screw it all up in one swoop.
Where are we going to find rubber pants our size?
You don't find rubber pants your size. You always go with rubber pants 2 sizes bigger. Hayden says, the director says, we are done. And Rodney is unique. And Rodney is our special friend that there are things that no one else down here can do. And only Rodney can do those. That is why Rodney has the most space out of anyone. Rodney actually rivals my own space in my own shop for occupying.
6 years ago, I showed up just to steal your secrets. And what happened?
He moved in.
He's staying.
He started leaving his projects for world domination here. There's at least 3 or 4 schemes to take over the world that have not been finished. One of them, I think, just needs batteries and a power supply. But we're not talking about that.
Rule number 1 about the death ray is we don't talk about the death ray.
All right.
Especially in front of Nick.
Especially around Nick, yes.
I'm about ready to pull the crook around.
You're pulling a Joe. You're just going to pull the plug, right?
Yes,
Good night, fans. Brump. Well, thank you, everybody, once again for coming out tonight. I'm sorry we didn't have anything planned. Next week, we will have a plan. Next week, we will have what game we're going to play with this month. And we will also have whatever prize it's going to be. You know what? It could be just a handful of credits because we have over 300 credits that I cast for the expo. And
can we have a pin the tail on Matt? I like.
We could have a pin the tail on Matt. Matt is on assignment, and we're actually not sure exactly when Matt will return,
or if
Matt will return. The further north he goes, the chances are.
Let me tell you about Wisconsin.
I don't want to know about Wisconsin.
There are 2 forms of Wisconsin. During the summer, it is a mosquito-filled swamp. And during the winter, it is an ice tundra.
That's exactly like Finland.
Hernan, thank you very much for joining us again. We miss you, sir. I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad you still have maintained your special relationship with Rodney.
And Gorilla Glue.
Next time, if you show back up, we will get a much bigger bottle of Gorilla Glue out for you.
All right.
I am wearing the hat. So
I'm just cold.
Did I ever tell you the story about this hat?
Say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.